So there it is. You know, a big level, a big jump up from back control than just the basic idea. It's really good. And I'm a believer, and especially coaches, I'm a real believer, you know this by now, in creating like neat packages that you can remember, because it becomes very unwieldy as we go along, right? So, you know, the problem, white belts have more of a challenge nowadays than when I was a white belt, because the information is too much. You know, it's just too much. You go, what do I do? People are doing berimbolas and this and that, but they can't mount yet. They don't know about what they're doing. They're doing berimbolas, but they don't know De La Riva. Is that? Like, that's what? It came out of De La Riva. You know, and you're doing De La Riva because he's doing knee slice pass. So to not know knee slice pass before you learn De La Riva, and then not know De La Riva before you do berimbola, to me is like, what are you doing? It's cute, but it's a problem of too much information. And when I started jiu-jitsu, I had way less information. So in many respects, it was easier, right? Because there was less. There was just, what do you want? Vanilla, strawberry, or chocolate? Now it's Italy. I can't do it. There's 58 flavours. My wife, no problem. She goes hazelnut. She got one thing. That's all she does. And I just go, baby, I'm with you, because it's too confusing. There's 100. She's going, baby, choose. I'm going, how? I don't know how. It's too complicated. So there's a bit of that going on. So I think for coaches, what we have to do is try to find ways to reduce down to these little easy packages that we can go, you can remember it next week. You know, you can remember that as a little idea. Or, you know, if I say something like De La Riva, go. What would you teach first, second, third? What's your plan? He'll go, oh, well, there's 15 things. That's not what I asked. Now you're getting into the same problem as I had with the gelati. Oh, there's 15 things. I know that. But in fighting, it's worse, because you've got less time to go, which of the 15 flavors? No, he's trying to kill you. So you better have a very crystal clear, what I would call core plan for everything. And then if you want to, add on to that later on for some variations. Anyway, that's what I tried to do for non-master back control. Core plan for non-master back control. Any questions?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Mine, when you're doing the triangle, what's the reason for going wrist to wrist as opposed to like grabbing their arm?
Leverage.
So
you're on the end of the lever.
Your weak wrist.
Yeah, it's on the end of the lever.
But I mean, why not grab their arm?
Oh, like grab it with your thumb? Oh, you won't pull. You won't pull as strongly that way than if you don't use your thumb. If you don't use your thumb, you'll do a better pull. Yeah. As soon as you add the thumb in, I think it's a lot of it. I'm not sure of the physiology of it, but I suspect it's when you grab something like that, you can push and pull, so your brain's kind of going, maybe, I'm just guessing, right? It's saying, I'll fire those fibres in a way where I'm going to reserve some just in case you want to push. Whereas when you do that, you're only pulling. So you're saying, hey, brain, I'm only pulling. And then I suspect it says, okay, if you're only going to pull and you promise that, then I'll let 60% of the pulling fibres fire instead of 50%. I'm only guessing, but that's an educated guess. It's not a random stupid guess. You can trick the physiology, your posture and things that you do really, really affect your mindset, and your mindset affects your posture. There's been a lot of studies done on that. Some of the great studies done by Hunter Armstrong, one of the guys that I came across when I was doing a bit of work for military and stuff overseas. And Hunter Armstrong's head of the World Hopology Society, and he's which is how humans fight. And he's talked about posturing, like, so if guys are going, yeah, like this, they're socialising. They don't want to fight. It's blah, 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 yeah. That's total socialisation. Now, they might be threatening you and doing all that, but they're socialising. What this saying is, I don't want to fight. I want you to back down, I want you to whatever, but I don't want to fight. When you want to fight, you do not make eye contact. You lower down and you creep up and you kill them. So whenever you do the opposite, which is eye contact and go big, you're not socialising. You're bullshitting. And he's done lots and lots of study on that. So, and he says the human posture, when you go into this idea, your whole brain just starts saying, this is a fight. When you go like that, it says, I'm socialising. And they've done experiments with electrodes and neurology and seeing which part of your brains fire up when you do different postures and stuff. So then extrapolate that into the way your grips and your hands are facing this way or this way, and your brain starts thinking about things differently. It's quite interesting, I mean, if you're interested in that stuff. Really interesting. You can look at Hunter Armstrong. I'll tell you what, to Google, you can Google, here's an example. Google something like men steal meat from lions. Anyone seen that? Fucking awesome. 9 lions eating a downed wildebeest. 3 Maasai warriors over here looking at it. Ready? On the right time? Yep, go. The lions have gone. Whew. Then they've gone in the bushes and gone. What the? And they've gone, hurry up. And then, because they know the lions are going to work it out in a minute, hang on, we could kill these people, no weapons. And so they had to go, but it was just total bullshit. Yeah, posturing, presence, and, you know. And yeah, because prey doesn't do that, so they're saying we're not prey. Yeah, it was interesting. So Hunter did a lot of work like that, I did. Anyway, pull better. Anything else before we wind it up? Yes, sir.
Like you said, in modern day jiu-jitsu, what would John Will's advice be for a white belt? You know, trying to narrow down, picking from those 100 different flavors.
Oh, that's a good question. Because it's really difficult to say no to information, right? I mean, we're not hardwired to say no, you know, like, to information. It's too addictive. That's why I think it's more challenging for kids today. You know, when my dad was, you did that or you did that or you did that. You know, like, trade or you became a cop or you went in the army. It was a simple. Now it's like, oh my God, people go, oh, you got everything. No. There's many more options, but that's the problem. So it becomes very difficult to focus. So I think it's a real problem. You know, and there's all this stuff. I think it's okay to look at all these different things, but I think we should make a distinction between what we're actually spending time drilling and look at the rest of it like, you know, information, and you can muck around with it. But it's like, maybe like this. What's your meal that's sustaining you nutritionally, and what's dessert? I'm up for dessert, but I'm not living on it. Mm. So I think it's just worthwhile making a distinction between where's your nutrition coming from and what's just for fun. Not saying no to fun, but I want my nutrition first and then have the fun. That's what my wife tells me. But I eat greens. Yeah. So I think that's something like that, right? And as opposed to what, I mean, in regard to what, then it's the syllabus is my very strong view on what you should be getting down first. And that's online, you're available, see it online. Spend time on that. And then when you're a blue belt, then the doors, at least, you know, you've got that squared away so that then when all these different things come in, you can, and even then, I would suggest pick a topic and commit to it for, I'm just going to make a number, a month. Yeah, work on it for a month. Other things will happen to you anyway, right? But just say, for this month, I'm going to work on my half go. Because you'll get when you first pick a topic, you'll get a very quick upswing in learning. You know, it's new. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's new, right? And then you'll find it'll start to taper off in terms of you put a lot of effort in but get less back, right? That's a perfect time to change to another topic. Perfect time. And then change again, you know, something like that. So that would be good advice. And and why I say a month, because that's quite a lot, meaning by the end of a year, you've kind of covered 12 topics. That's pretty good. That's very better than what I did, you know.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else?
No.
About anything? All questions will be answered.
What's for tea?
All right.
Cross-pollination?
What about it?
I just heard your dance, the grip game, you know, cross-pollination.
Oh, Daniel Strauss.
Yeah.
Cross- Well, there's I've got a lot to say about that, but I'll just go for 1 minute. I'll go for 2 minutes. 2 minutes maximum, then I'll let you home. What I was talking to Daniel about, because I was talking to him privately about that beforehand, and that is why people do things, why they live their lives the way they do. So people can say, oh, I want to go into martial arts, which I see a lot of this in my work. They go into martial arts because I want to make a living out of martial arts. Because I have no skills, I have no talents, I can't do anything. Sorry, guys. So it leaves me martial arts. So I'll go, and I like martial arts. So here's an idea. Here's a good idea. I've got this thing I love doing. What if I can make money from it? That's pretty good, right? So they do this. A lot of people. And then now they're doing this thing that they love and have passion for, but they're all about now going to make a living out of it. So now there's problems because they end up quite often hating it. So we were talking about that topic is how we started. And then, so I believe very strongly in this kind of a strange idea that is like, and the analogy I used to him was bees cross-pollinating flowers. So a bee is let's say his heart, let's say, it's a silly word, but its heart, it wants to, it's passionate about collecting pollen. That's what it wants to do. To be a bee, I've got to go out there, for my queen, I've got to get the pollen, take it back to the hive. So that's what the bee's about. An unbelievably awesome byproduct of that is that flowers get cross-pollinated and then grow and all that stuff. But I'm sure the bee is clueless about this. The bee's not going, time to go cross-pollinate some flowers. It just does its thing, and as a result of that, because it's doing its right, it's not acting like an ant or a bird. It's going, no, I feel like going and collecting pollen. That's what makes me feel good as a bee. So in doing that, this amazing other thing happens, right? So I think it's nice in a perfect world, right, that people can do that. So if I do what I want to do the right way, what I feel really fulfills me, and if I do that, how I know I'm doing the right thing is because I can see these other benefits happening in the world as a result of it. You understand? A bee, I don't know whether a bee can or cannot see. I'm going to assume it can't. But I can. I have a brain. So I can say, if I do this thing, I can see I'm causing cross-pollination. That's not why I'm doing it, but I can see it's happening. So that gives me confirmation that I'm doing the right thing. Does that make sense? Something like that. So I've always made my living out of martial arts, but that's not why I did it. That's actually, in my view now, it's a side effect, a benefit, a consequence of me behaving the right way and living my life the way I want to live it. Consequence is, I've got enough money. Not why I do it though. And I think people who do it for that, they have different ripple effects, and often they don't work out very well. So I think you've got to do things for the right reason, because then it's sustainable, and if it's sustainable over a long period, you'll do okay, generally speaking. That's the shortest answer I can give. It's complicated.